Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, guys. Checking back in, continuing on a topic that I brought up on Sunday, dealing with going from a boyfriend to the different stages of manhood, husband to a father. But I want tonight to just spend a minute talking about your man. I've heard that term used a lot. I'm not sure if we call him our man because he's too old to be a boy, and so he's no longer a boyfriend, or if it means something else. I'm not sure. Maybe y'all can send me something in Facebook to let me know if there's a different meaning for man. However, your man may not be a husband or husband material. I wanted to bring it up. Of course, all this has been sparked because Ash, my daughter, got married to Pat. And at some point he was her boyfriend, then he became her fiance, and now he's her husband. And but as I, of course, counseled her and talked with her and shared things, I began to want to share with you, and God just has sparked my heart to share even more. As you all know, we have, of course, written a book, married for 39 years, didn't get here on an easy road. There were challenges. There are challenges in marriage, but it is good. And so we wrote this book many years ago called Married Life or Married Life Sentence, having to decide what kind of life you will have. But I do want to say that it really begins before you say I do. As a matter of fact, I often make a joke that when people say I do, some of them don't know what they did. So you need to know what you're doing when you say I do. And that's kind of what this is sparked from. So last week, as you all know, or last Sunday rather, and I hope you go back and listen, I talked about the 5 stages of men. It was Father's Day, so I kind of wanted to say something relative to fathers. And I want to quickly hit those 5 stages again and actually share maybe a little bit more. And what I want to say about these stages for men, and of course there are stages for women as well, but you have to grow and you have to mature and you have to make changes in your mindset to move from one stage to another. And so I do want to say that just because people get older does not necessarily mean they're moving through the stages. And just because a man gets of a certain age does not mean he has necessarily moved through the stages. And there are stages he must go through to go through from a male all the way up to fatherhood, which is considered the ultimate position. So real quick, I talked about a male. That's where it all starts. And the one thing I shared is that he has a fertilizing instrument, and everybody know what that is. And everybody know that no one exists in the earth. None of us get here without the fertilizing instrument, okay? I would add one more thing to the male, and that is he's driven by his appetite. He's looking for his mother. He's dependent. He only looks to have his basic needs met: food, clothing, and attention. Then the next stage that they go to is a boy. And I shared last week or Sunday that oftentimes, when we're dating, we call them our boyfriend. And a boyfriend does not necessarily mean he's ready to become a husband and a father. So boy, I shared this before, but I'm going to add a few more pieces to it. Because I hear the Lord say some of us may be married to boys. Some of us may still be dating boys. Boy is childish. He's irresponsible. He's selfish. He's in self-discovery. He's independent. It's all about self-gratification. He likes games. He's a player. Okay? And so I want young ladies and even mature ladies that may be dating, watch the players. They don't make good husbands and definitely don't make good fathers. Husband is that stage that's kind of getting you ready to be a father. So you don't want a player, okay? And if he's a player, then he's not the material you need to move into marriage and trying to build something. But I also want to talk about the next stage. I've heard this term many times. That's my man. He's my man. Your man. I don't know if it's supposed to mean that he is getting close to marriage or he's getting close to being a husband. I hope we don't call him my man to be a substitute for a husband, because my man is not my husband. Two different roles, two different responsibilities. And as a matter of fact, I'll talk about it more when I get over to that husband area. But what you want to look at is he in position? Because if we're going through these 5 stages, male, boy, then man, after that comes husband, and then the ultimate is father. If he's going through these stages, then we ought to see signs that he's ready to move into the next stage. You follow me? If he's still all operating in the boy area, selfish, childish, care only about his needs being met. He wants what he wants. He doesn't care what you need. It's not about you. He's not thinking about settling down. He's not thinking about marriage. He don't want no responsibility. You're dealing with a boy. I don't care if he's 50. He's a boy. And you need to run. All right. So anyway, but a man, okay? So a man, it should be that he's getting close in that position of preparing to become a husband, or getting ready mentally or emotionally, or mature enough and growing enough that he is positioned to be a husband, which takes on a whole different role. And so when we talk about a man, number one, he's a planner. He ought to have a plan for his life. He ought to be planning for the future. He has purpose for his life, and this is really major, because when I talk about wife in a moment, and I may not get to it, so let me just say it now. The Bible talks about, becoming a wife is becoming a helper. And how many know that you can't help somebody who's not going anywhere? And so you need to, and also you want to know where he's going to make sure you want to go where he's going. Make sure you all are headed down the same road, because if he's going to the right and your vision is to go to the left, you got a problem, and there will not, that's just not going to work very well. So, but he has a purpose, and he ought to know who he is, what he wants in life, what his purpose is in life, what he wants to accomplish. All of that needs to be established in that manhood. So if you got your man ought to have some vision for his life, know where he's going, what he wants to do, all of that. As a matter of fact, this book I was reading talks about he's a dreamer, and this is big. He's disciplined. That discipline can go in a lot of areas, but I want to particularly say he ought to be disciplined in being able to control himself, okay? That he's not trying to run after every woman he sees, trying to rack up whatever it is that they rack up, trying to get as many as they can get. That's an undisciplined, childish. That's a boy. That's a player. He's playing games. It's just another game, another person, another game. That's all that's about. You don't need that. Trust and believe that is not. Listen to me, what you want to marry. Now, let me just say this, and this wasn't in my notes nor plan. But let me say this. Marrying the wrong one is worse than being single. So if you're single and you're listening to me and you think, I'm lonely, I want to be married. Well, just know, make sure you're going to marry somebody that you can live with, that's not going to give you a headache, that you're not tied to, and your life is a life sentence because you didn't pay attention to look to see what he was all about and to see where he was going. And yes, don't think that you're going to change him. No, see him for who he is. That's who he is. That's who he's going to be. He may make a few adjustments, but he's not going to become somebody else. What you see, it's what you get. Go back and hear my other tapes. Open your eyes. Look. Don't ignore what you see. I think there's a saying. Let me just give it to you now. There's a saying that love is blind and marriage is an eye-opener. Okay? So you want to go on and open your eyes now before you get married, so you don't have a rude awakening and a big eye opener. Okay, I don't know who that was for. Hope that blessed you. But anyway, but this person, this man, is also, he embraces new beginnings. As a matter of fact, he's not afraid of unfamiliar things. So he's not running because marriage is being discussed or has come up, or he's not afraid of that because he's mature enough to know that he wants to settle down and begin to build and to accomplish something. And that can't be done running from pillar to post, over here, over there. He's got to get planted. And if he doesn't begin to recognize that, he's not headed anywhere, or he has not found the one he wants to do that with. And so you don't want to waste your time. Okay. Just one other thing about a man. He's a man of authority. And what that really means is that he submits to authority. So he's not a lone ranger out there and just think he's the man. Everybody got to bow down to him. He doesn't listen to anybody. He's not under a pastor. He's not under a parent. He's not under anybody. He's just doing his own thing. And then he's got to always say, I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the boss, I'm the boss. Well, I mean, if you got to keep saying you the boss, you the man, you in authority, I mean, no, you don't feel you have any. That's dealing with some insecurities. You don't want that, because then he's going to have to do a lot of things to try to make sure he's feeling like a man. Okay? No, he needs to be a man. I think somebody said he walks with a weight that's very silent, but when it shows up, you know he's present. I hope you caught that. All right, so how do you know that he's ready to move into that husband role? Well, number one, those things are there, and you're not seeing the signs of the boy, and you're not seeing the signs of a male. He's dropped a lot of that. You might see one or two, but you don't see a boy coming through. But when he gets ready to move into this husband role, these are the kind of things that will happen that he should be ready for. Number one, he's married. And that means that he's not shacking up trying to pretend that he's married. No, he's making the decision to marry. He's making the steps to marry. He's doing what it takes to be married. And he's willing to make that commitment and give himself to that one woman. If he's not ready to do that, he's not ready for marriage. How do you know? Well, if he's your man and you still don't know where he is and he's running everywhere and you don't trust him and you think he's running around, he's definitely not ready for marriage. Forget it. He is not going to change. I do does not mean he become disciplined and all of a sudden now he's going to just deal with you. That doesn't do it. No, this has to be a change of mind. He has to have a whole different vision of life. And if he hadn't got that before you say I do, he's not going to get it after he say I do. He's just going to keep doing what he was doing before he did. I hope y'all got that. All right, here's another key. Of course, he's head of his family. He's a leader. He's a provider. He's a worker. And that is real big. Let me tell you, don't shy that away. I am just amazed sometimes when I hear about women who are with men who don't work, who don't have a job, who don't have anything. They have nowhere to go. They drive in your car. They eating your food out of your refrigerator. Girl, wake up. What's wrong with you? You can do better without him. He's costing you. That's not what this is about. Your life should go to a better level. If you got to drag him, do for him, provide for him, you got to go buy him some clothes. I'm not talking about gifts. Yeah, you want to bless him if you love him, but you got to buy the clothes for him, buy clothes for you, buy the food in the refrigerator. You got to, girl, wake up. You are dealing with a boy. He's not a man. This is a man right here. Not a man yet, and you need to let him go, and you're not going to change him. No, the change has to come on his own. You'll do what I was talking about before with that drip, drip, drip. You'll be nagging him because you're trying to make him something that he's not. Okay, so all those things, one thing that helped me to know that my husband, who had gone from a boyfriend, I guess maybe, I don't remember referring to him as a man, but he was a man. And how many know you do want to marry a man, not a boy? But, when we got married, he was, well, even before we got married, I remember one time somebody wanted to talk to me on the phone and they had a beef with me. And it was a gentleman. And he knew all about it, of course, because I was sharing everything with him. And I think we were probably engaged to get married at that point. And the gentleman, he was actually a minister, gave me a call. He had an issue with some other people that I was friends with. And he had some things to say to me. And he thought I was misleading them some kind of way away from him, whatever it was. It was an issue. My husband, my fiance at that time, knew about it. And when the call came in and I said hello to this person, my husband, fiance at that time, took the phone. No, this is it. He answered the phone when he saw saw the number. And when the man asked for me, may I speak to Laura, my husband, fiance, whatever he was, he said, this is Laura. And what he was saying was, and he talked to the man, it was like, whatever you need to say, you can say it to me, and you're not going to worry her, bother her. No, I'm her shield. Don't just, whatever you got to say, you can say it to me. That just was just such a blessing. What was he doing? He was stepping up, showing me he was going to protect me. He was going to take care of me. And, even after we have married, it's kind of funny. Of course, we bought many homes. And I'm telling you, there's never a home that I wanted. And I said, he knew I wanted it. I said, babe, this is what I want. This is where I want to go. And I'm telling you, he will find a way. That's a man. That's a husband. One that will provide. Sometimes, even the house we're in right now, he just came up with ways and was led by God, and we got here. It's kind of funny. We bought cars, and I remember buying him a car for his birthday, for his 50th birthday, brand new Jaguar. And I was so excited to give it to him because it was just so sharp, and I knew he would love it. And so I was able to help, lay the down payment down, all that kind of stuff for him. But how many know that after he got that car and drove it a few minutes, I was driving it. Why? Because it was the newest car. And you know what? He wanted me to have the best. Why? Because that's who husbands are. They are providers. They want the best. They are givers. They want to take care of their wife. They want to take care of their children. They want to provide. They want to protect. That's who you're looking for. How will you know you got that kind of man? Because he's showing that for you right now. Even as your man, he's protecting. He's wanting the best for you. He's watching out for you. Do you know how I knew that Pat, when he came to talk to my husband and I and talk to us separately, I knew he was ready to get married, and I knew he was right for my baby Ash, is he talked to me about my daughter's dreams. And I was very surprised. He shared with me what she wanted to do in her practice, her goals, her dreams, things that she had shared with us. And he said, and my desire is to help her get there. I was like, okay. You the man, you the man that will become a great husband. So I just want you ladies to recognize what stage he's in so that you would know if you're wasting your time or if he's positioned to go to that next level with you so that you can receive all the blessings that God has for you. I pray that this blessed you. I encourage you to get a copy of our book, Married Life, A Married Life Sentence. It's at our website, laurapickett.org. And of course, we're still dealing with the Get Over Weight Challenge, and it will bless you. It will change your life. It's not just about weight. It's about winning in life. And I deal with all kind of principles, even dealing with principles that men go through, that sometimes women as nurturers end up putting on weight because they're trying to help them through it. It will bless you. Go to laurapickett.org. I believe you will be blessed. I love you so much. I pray this bless you. I'll see you again Sunday. Bye-bye.